This quick video is going to show you all of my favorite Canva hacks that help speed up the process of creating Pinterest images using Canva. I know there are a lot of people that watch my videos, you've watched my Canva tutorial videos, and I have gotten questions even after watching the videos, like how do I make pins quickly? And that's why I created the Canva pin creation kind of workflow video to show you exactly how we create pins here at Heather Ferris & Co. For our clients. And this video is really just going to cover some of those hacks just to speed things up and help you to stay on task, but also to create Pinterest images for yourself. Hello, if you're new here, I'm Heather Ferris. I run a Pinterest marketing agency and education company where we manage hundreds of client accounts and we help hundreds of students to use Pinterest to grow their businesses. If you are interested in all things Pinterest marketing, make sure you hit the subscribe button and welcome to the crew. If you're not new here, hey, welcome back. Why don't we dive right into this tutorial? It's all on the computer, and then I will let you be on your merry way. All right, so let's dive in. So I'm actually going to show you a few of these just on a brand new image template in Canva for a Pinterest pin, just a blank slate, so you can see what happens when I add them. So the very first thing that I wanted to show you that you can do, and this happens to me a lot, is I will be in here designing something for YouTube or for Facebook or whatever. I'm not necessarily like in the mindset of creating a Pinterest pin, but I see an element that I want to use on my Pinterest pins later on, and instead of like adding it to an item here and that design getting lost in the flux of all of my designs, what you can do is actually add elements to a folder. Now I have found that you can't add the moving elements to folders, but you can add elements like these to folders. So let's just do a like polka dots, and let's say we really liked these polka dots and we wanted to use these again. So you see the three little dots? If you click that, it opens up and you can add these to likes, or you can add this to a folder, and then you can just search for the folder that you've created, or you can go ahead and create a new folder. Now, something else that I really like with this is the magic recommendations. So if you choose one design, it's gonna find additional designs along the same lines of that one that are called magic recommendations. They're basically recommendations that match that design that you already picked out. Now, something else that I really like doing is clicking the see more like this. So I can see, oh, well, here's a whole bunch of other elements that are similar to this one that I could also use. So if you wanted to use like a still image and then also use an outline, you could do that. And this leads me really nicely into tip number 2. Tip number 2 is for Mac users, because I don't know what this is going to be on Windows. On Windows, this could very well just be the Control key or the Alt key. I don't really know. But for Mac users, if you add an element, let's just say we wanted this element right here, and we wanted 2 solid versions of it. And this actually works for anything that you add to any design on Canva. It can be text, it can be elements, it can be photos, it doesn't matter. But let's say you have more than one, right? Copy, paste that guy. Okay, you have more than one. You see how sometimes you can get stuck in these guidelines and it's like, oh, I want you here. Oh, I want you there. What if you don't want it like that? What if you want more of a gap and it's not allowing you to get out of those guidelines? If you hold down while you're dragging your element, the command button on your keyboard, you can free move this guy without being forced into those design lines by Canva. Okay, and then you want to let go of your mouse click and then let go of the command key. Okay, so shift and hold down that command key and drag your element around, and then let go of your mouse click, let go of your command key, and now you have freely moved that guy around without it being stuck in the design guidelines. Now, the next thing that I like to do, let's just use this button a whole bunch of times and we can place these around, that a lot of people don't realize that you can do is if you click and drag, you will select the elements on the screen. Now this is especially really cool. Let me remove some of my lipstick images here. This looks like lipstick. This is especially really cool if you have some text on the screen and you wanted to lock a couple elements and keep them in place, but you want to still move around the other elements on the screen. So let's just say you had some text on the screen and you really just wanted to move around the stuff on the bottom. So you could just move it and then you can quickly group it, but you can just move these things and then the other stuff on the screen stays in place. So that's another really quick tip for you. Now, the next tip is one that I actually just recently figured out, and that's the lock key. If you wanted to lock elements in place and keep them from being moved, you simply need to select them and then click the lock key. This is something that we don't use a whole lot for templates that we sell, but it's definitely something we use for templates that we create in-house, and especially if clients are also using those templates. Just makes it easier for the design to stay in place and less likely for the design to actually get messed up. So keep that in mind. You can use the lock feature. Now, if you wanted to unlock them, like if they're locked and you needed to unlock them, I think you have to unlock each individual one first, but don't quote me on that. Okay, the next thing that I like are keys on the keyboard. So you just saw me quickly add some text without going over here to the text. No, resume. Okay, there we go. Without going over here to the text thing. Now these text blocks are great, right? But let's just say we wanted to add text to our design really quickly. All you have to do is push the T button on your keyboard and it will automatically add text to your design. Now, one thing that you have to be aware of is if it's going to be whatever your last used text is. So like I just changed this to a different font. So if I add text again, it's going to be whatever the last font I was just using. So keep that in mind. If you add text really quick, just know that you may have to change the font. Next is rectangles. You can very quickly add rectangles by just clicking the R key on your keyboard. The same for circles. You can just quickly add circles by clicking the C button on your keyboard. Something else that you can do is lines. You can quickly add lines by clicking the L on your keyboard and then the text. Now, one thing that I really like that a lot of people don't realize is you can copy and paste between designs. So let's say you have a design that you really liked and you're trying to create new designs based on that. So what you could do is just go to that design and Command C or Control C and bring it over to your new design and Control or Command P, and it'll paste over to your other design. Formatting, size, everything remains the same. So if you find something, and I do this quite often, I will find things that I really like on pre-made templates within Canva that I want to put into my own design, but I don't want to use their design as my starting point. I'll just copy and paste those elements over. So nifty. Okay. Something else that you can do that a lot of people don't realize that they can do when they're creating images, especially when they're creating multiple designs in the same one. So let's say that you are creating, like you want to use this same text on the next one. The most common usage for this particular tip is actually when I'm putting the URL on Pinterest images in a series, like when we create a new series of Pinterest images and we're doing the URL and I want the placement and the logo or whatever to still be in the same place and I want it to be the same one. Simply Control C or Command C, go to your next item and click on it, so it's highlighted like this, and Control V, and it'll place it in the exact same place. This is actually super nifty when it comes to inserting logos on designs. So let's just say I was putting my little logo like this one, and I was putting it maybe up here in this top right hand corner. So same deal, you can even go backwards with it, and it'll put it in the same place. So that's actually really neat when I'm like bulk designing pins for clients, and I'm trying to save time. That way you don't have to type it in over and over again or place it over and over again. One thing that I really like that a lot of people don't realize is just using the elements feature for the background image. Now, because I use this grid and it's an image, you actually have to put an image in it, right? Sometimes when you're adding your logo to the image, your logo wants to take the place of the background image instead of the image that I want to go there, right? So like this one, if I put it here, there, okay, you see how what that just did? So if you Control Z or Command C, undo that action, this is where that tip I just told you about where you're holding the Command key comes in really handy. If you hold the Command key, you move your logo around, undo your finger click on your mouse, and then undo the Command key, the logo will stay on top. And this will allow you to place your logo image without actually taking the background image place. Okay, the next thing that I really like that a lot of people miss out on, or they don't even realize it's a thing, and I'm actually gonna go find one of my folders to show you. So in our monthly pin template designs, we have multiple images in each design. So what a lot of people don't realize that they can do is, instead of scrolling through, because I know a lot of people make templates and there's like 60 pages or more. So what you can do is click this grid view right here, and you can see all the images in that design in a smaller view, and then these can actually be drug around. Like if you wanted to drag these around, you can drag them around and like reorder them. And then my last tip for you is actually publishing your pins straight from Canva. So a lot of people don't realize that they can do this either. You've probably seen it and you're like, I don't know what this is about, so I'm not going to do it. But this is a way that you can go ahead and schedule and publish your pins straight to Pinterest without having to download them and upload them and deal with all of that. So if you want to do that, you simply you have to connect your Pinterest account, which it'll have you do. Then you're going to add your pre-written pin title, so like Pinterest test image, and you're going to tell it which page you want to publish. You're going to write that description. You're going to put your URL, and then you're going to choose your date and your time, and you're going to click done and click schedule post, and it'll schedule it for you. So that's so neat. That is my last tip. So I really hope that these quick Canva hacks help you when designing your pins or using our templates for your own Pinterest image creation process. So that was it for this week's quick Canva hacks tutorial. If you liked that video, if you want to see more tutorials like this one, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you see every new video that comes out twice a week, and head on over and watch our pin creation playlist so you can get more design inspiration tips and tutorials on creating pins for Pinterest. So that's it for this week. See you later.